Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel, All That Is. I'm so pleased to be here with you today. I decided to come on here and give you folks an update of what's taking place in my life and what's happening in the cosmically as well as on our planet. This month of June has been a really big month for great shifts to take place, not only in my life, but what I'm experiencing within the outer reality, if you will. And so I just wanted to come on here and just wish you all a wonderful summer. I hope you're having a great summer so far. The weather here in Vancouver, well, the outskirts of Vancouver, has been really beautiful. I've been working a lot in the garden and just exploring and enjoying Mother Nature. And so I just wanted to give you folks an update and just touch base, as there's a lot of shifts that have taken place within my life. And this has ultimately resulted in me not doing as many lives and updates as I would have liked to. And so as we move forward, and in spite of all these shifts that are taking place, and sometimes they can be hardships, but we have to endure. And so as we move through these choices that we make moving forward, it is my belief that we are being asked to take on these choices in a way, and choose in that polarity, to make choices so that we are on that highest timeline, um, and allow us to be within that golden age frequency, if you will. This is my belief, and it has manifested in my life on so many levels. And so this is, in a way, the Divine Mother and that purity working its way into my life and showing me the path and showing me the way as she cleanses me and all of my energies and all of the places that I touch, even in my offering to you folks, and to all of my followers. And so she is cleansing me from the inside out as I shed the old and birth into the new. And so there is that purification that is taking place even on my personal level, on the physical level, in mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And so we have to discern which path it is that we are taking. And so this is where I am. And so I thought I would come on here and speak about my experiences. As many of you know, I have had this awakening, if you will, and have tangled with the dark energies, shall we say, and those that have put us in this place. A lot of us are just discovering this for ourselves, and the entanglement of the Draco and the gray beings that have invaded our earth plane, so to speak. And this has gone through, many centuries of evolution. But all of this is now coming to light. And as we move through all of these realities and move through all of the darkness within which we were submerged as a result of this invasion, we are being shown these polarities, and the choices that we make within each of these polarities as we move forward is what results in us getting onto those higher timelines and that golden age timeline, if you will. And so for me, it has been just, awakening, first of all, to understanding that darkness, and then realizing, excuse me, realizing that I and my past lifetimes have been tangled very deeply with the Draco and with the Greys, and with their inverted vision, shall we say, of what they wanted the earth plane to look like. This is not their home. They have acquired this plane of existence, if you will, and tried to make it their home. And as a result, they have created structures that are in alignment with their own ideas of what we, as their minions, if you will, or subjects, and how they wanted us to live, as um, their property, as their chattel. And so now, with the decree of the Creator and the imposition, shall we say, of these new timelines, where these beings are being forced in a way to move back to where they came from, and they are also being given a choice The decree has come from the Creator, and I believe this was around the year 2020. And so they have been given a choice to return back to the point or the 0 point field from which they made that decision to deviate from the Creator and that true evolution that the Creator created for each one of us to progress from on our own individual soul's path. And this is what the Draco and the Greys have done. And they have revolted against the light, and they have created their own path of deviation from the light. And so they have descended rather than ascended into that evolution as created by the Creator. And so in that devolution, they have dragged us as their pawns, if you will, through their own vision and through their ideas of what life must be like. And so they have created these structures within the earth plane that we are struggling under. And so this imposition is not what we chose or where we want to be in terms of our own soul's evolution. And so we have to stand as sovereign beings within our own light and choose for ourselves what we want our own soul's evolution to be like. And so this has been my realization. First of all, understanding the true galactic history in terms of where the Draco come in, where the Greys come in, how they've created this life for themselves upon the earth plane, and just digging back, rooting back to where my own energies have come from. And I have been going through this on my own, but I have also shared this on my channel. So if you haven't already looked at my historical videos, please go and check that out just to get a better understanding of where I am coming from. And this has taken me down a path of healing and of discovering for myself what it is that I am to be doing for my own soul's path. And within that, I am sharing my experience and offering my services, and have moved away from that matrix, if you will, that they have created. And it has been a difficult path because that's all I knew for many, many years until about, I would say, 10 or 15 years ago, when I started to move away from these structures and created a path for myself to serve the many. And so this is where my healing modalities come in, my teachings come in, and I'm still weaving all of that into my own reality, and it is still a path of discovery for me. So through all of this, I have also discovered the Gridwork missions that perhaps many of you have taken part in. And so all of these things are a way of aligning with those higher timelines and discovering for myself as I work with others, and healing not only myself, but the earth and all of the beings that wish to go on that higher journey and evolve and ascend into those higher timelines. And so as we move forward within these Gridwork missions, within these services, within these offerings that we are each being called to do, that there is an urgency within the reality to do more, to express ourselves more in this higher timeline, if you will. And so my own alignment has been revealed in so many beautiful ways as I discover those higher Christed energies, the Christos consciousness, the Sophia consciousness, the energy of the divine Mother, Father, God, that communion between the two energies, between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and that pure alignment with the creator energies, or all that is, if you have read my book, all that is progressing to the fifth dimension. I take you through that journey of aligning with those higher energies and that discovery journey, if you will, of how the creator went through those early creations right up to the time of perhaps 2020, when that decree was issued. And then my alignment with Yeshua ben Joseph, or as you may know him, Jesus Christ. I wrote the second book, The Voice of an Angel, and this was a memoir from Yeshua speaking in his own voice and his experiences here upon the earth plane and beyond, even after his ascension into the light body, and the work that he and Mary Magdalene, his divine partner, are doing at this point in time as they help us to ascend into those higher timelines. And so my own work with these beings and my interactions with these beings has been the blessing and the realization of my own path. And with this, there have been many others, like the Collective of Three, who were the ones that wrote the first book with me. So all of these beings come to me through my own meditations, through my own instincts, through my own realizations. And they are like divine friends, if you will, that are in my reality. They're very real to me. They come to me all the time. They're with me all the time. They are expressing guidance. They are expressing all kinds of, they give me all kinds of nudges, if you will, and information and um, just realizations of what is taking place in the collective. And so for me, this is a journey of gratitude as well, because these are everyday things that are happening to me on a very real, tangible basis, if you will. And so as I move forward with the work that I do with the Shamankas, Shekinah Grace and Shekinah Ma, we have come into alignment to do this kind of work as well. You have perhaps seen them on our live shows on YouTube and on Facebook. And so all of these realizations are a true blessing for the kind of work that I am doing. And so I feel so grateful to be here and to be sharing this path with all of you and the progress that I have been making in terms of just exploring this on my own volition. And so June has been a month of great shifts for me. I started off the month with offering a 7-day meditation series with the Divine Mother energies that were coming in very strongly and nudged me to do this offering. And so it came forward and manifested as the Beauty Way of Sophia, a 7-day meditation series. And so each morning, myself and a group of folks got together and we would meditate for about an hour and a half. And each day was dedicated to one of these divine feminine ascended masters like Isis, like Green Tara, Kuan Yin, Hathor of Egypt, Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, White Buffalo Calf Woman, and finally Mary Magdalene. And so each day we went through these very real transmissions from each of these beings. As we went into a deep meditation, I guided the group through familiarizing themselves with each of these beings. And then there were live transmissions from each of these beings that came in and blessed us with their presence. And so I would encourage you to connect with me to take on this offering, if you will, as a challenge perhaps to yourself, but also to open that gateway to these Divine Mother energies. They're very potent, they're very powerful, and they have certainly made an impact in my life for the better. And so on the tail of this meditation, oh, by the way, I will put information about this in the description if you are interested. Um, Email me because my website is down at the moment, and I will tell you about that in a moment. So yeah, on the tail of this meditation series, since the beginning of June, a lot of activations took place within my own reality. And so I was nudged to update my website. And this was coming up for renewal anyway. So I was nudged to change my service provider. And so I did. I went about making that shift, and I chose who I thought was a good service provider and went through the motions of setting it up. And unfortunately, it turned out to be a really distressing 10-day period for me, as this service provider was so terrible. It was just awful. It didn't offer me the creative depth and width that I wanted to work within in terms of my website space. The customer service was just awful. The website, the live website just kept dropping in and out, and it was just a horrific 10-day experience. And so there was a lot of frustration, a lot of anxiety as I was trying to work through, my schedule, my bookings, live events that were coming up. And so it was a struggle. And so I embraced it because I knew that I was being guided to process this, if you will, through my body. And so, as of yesterday, I had to change service providers once again, and I canceled my subscription with the one that was giving me all of this frustration. And so I am in a holding position, if you will, where I'm in a suspended animation now, waiting for my website to go live once again. So, which is why I'm not able to share anything on my website at the moment. And I recently, just this morning, put up a post instead of a blog as I usually would on YouTube. So you can go and check that out as well. Just giving you an update of what's taking place. So please bear with me, folks, as I maneuver through this obstacle, if you will. But I know there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And so this is the initiation. I see it as an initiation, if you will, as a rebirthing, um, because I had to, in a way, shed 5 years of all of the energies that I had built up on my website, and a lot of it had become very clunky and dense and heavy, and so I was feeling the weight of that as I was moving through my days, updating or working within my website. And so it was overdue for me to have that rehaul, if you will, and birth a new entity within my own website experience. And so I am waiting for this to be birthed, but the birthing pains are quite steep and quite painful. So please bear with me as this progresses and unravels itself as we move forward. I hope to get a positive feedback by the end of the day. So fingers crossed that this should happen. Um, yeah, so let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, the live show with the two shamankas will be back up and running as soon as these folks are back as well. Shakina Ma is presently in Los Angeles. She has also gone through her own challenges as her mother has gone through some health issues. And so Shakina Grace also had to travel to Saskatchewan and take care of some personal business as well. And so we will talk about all of this in our next show. We're hoping to be back live very quickly and continue our journey through the chakras. Um, and so as we navigate through all of these initiations and challenges that are being posed to us, it's a very real, very tangible experience for each one of us. And we are all connected in this way, and we are all having those aha moments, if you will, because we are all in alignment with what's taking place within the field. And so as we move through all of these challenges, we are speaking to each other and confirming all of these initiations, if you will, that are taking place, that has the synchronicity, if you will, within each of our lives, even though it's manifesting in very different ways for each of us. So, yeah, just tune into that for yourself and put a comment in the description and let me know if you are facing these challenges as well. Um, Even through all of this, we managed to come together and do our new moon in Cancer ceremony on the 25th of June. This was a very powerful Gridwork Mission and ceremony. The three of us hosted a beautiful group of participants where we tuned in and anchored those those divine mother energies to powerfully support us with that Gridwork mission. We were able to deeply heal the trauma while reconnecting and aligning with those higher dimensional energies within the field. The areas that we touched on were Israel, Iran, those three areas that were bombed, um, those nuclear sites, the United States, Canada, the Bermuda Triangle, Ascension Island, some parts of Europe, particularly Gibraltar, and the waters that were surrounding these areas. And so we brought in many blessings, many transmissions as we anchored all of these energies, these higher dimensional energies within the physical planes. And so on completion of that mission, we were then nudged and beckoned to take up the mantle to work on an urgent basis with the children. And so we are being called to do a gridwork mission which we are titling Rescuing the Children. And so we are being asked to pray for this and release them from that deep wounding and trauma that has been brought about by centuries of harm, not only by the Draco, but that mantle has been carried over to the human beings within our reality. And so now that a majority of the Draco have left our reality, we are now having to deal with the structures and the beings that are holding up those mantles, if you will, that were created by the invaders. And so the children have been caught up in that web of inversion, and there's a lot of wounding, there's a lot of trauma that needs to be healed over time in terms of just the depravity that has been rendered on children in so many ways. And so, as a result of this, we are being nudged to do this Gridwork mission, and we have scheduled it for Canada Day, which is July the 1st. Details for that again are in the description. I would encourage you to sign up for this mission and participate by bringing, even if you don't want to participate in a real way, just anchoring your light, bringing in your own particular frequency is a great help to us, just to anchor that energy as we move through the grids. And so if you wish to bring in prayers, if you wish to bring in light language, if you wish to bring in songs, blessings, all those things are most welcome within these Gridwork missions. So I would encourage you to check out the links in the description and sign up for this mission. And so we are hoping to cloak the children within that protective shield, if you will, as the Divine Mother energies come in and help us with this mission, and to raise them up from that loss of innocence, and just give them that energy of nurturing, of restoring them back to innocence, and relieving them from the pain of all of these years where they have struggled. And so, just briefly, I just wanted to let you know what the intentions of our mission were. And so, we're going to be looking at the horrific interactions, if you will, or the participation of the Vatican in all of these horrors of child trafficking, child molestation, sexual ritual abuse, and get to the root of all of the debauchery that is Hollywood, and their need for the blood of children within the entertainment industry. We will be praying and anchoring those energies as we correct and resurrect the fallen Mother Dragon bloodlines, and the Sophia and the Solar Dragon Queen bloodlines, as it relates to King Arthur, Mary Magdalene, the Essenes, the Cathars, the Templars, the fallen Notre Dame Cathedrals, the Sisters of Avalon, and the authentic Celtic Church and the Druids. We'll also be talking about and doing a tour, if you will, of the deep underground military bases. These tunnels underground are used to breed, to transport, to traffic children all across the globe. And so we'll briefly touch on that. We also want to bring our attention to Canada, where this person known as Kevin Arnott has been talking for quite a long time now, and he's actually done a documentary on this about the children, the missing Indigenous children in Canada, and it directly ties into the monarchy, the British monarchy, and their influence and their entanglement, if you will, within within these missing children. So there are a few places in Canada that we would like to bring um, to attention in terms of how it relates to child trafficking and the molestation of children. Recently, I also came into the understanding of this event that took place in Ireland, where 796 babies were found buried in a church backyard, and this church was run by nuns. And so we'll be clearing that energy and just clearing the field, clearing that karma. So yeah, I would encourage you to explore this potential within your own understanding. And if you don't know what a gridwork mission is all about, this would be a great time for you to explore that potential and just be there, support us with your presence, and understand how we work with energy and anchor those energies within the field. So I would really appreciate it if you can join us for this event on July the 1st. Let me see what else I would like to talk about. Yeah, I think that was it, folks. I just wanted to, to bring your attention to this landscape, if you will, where we are being asked to heal all of our own individual aspects, whether it's the divine feminine or divine masculine energies within our own beings, and just finding that joy within our own body, within our own mind, as we connect with that disconnected energy, if you will, from the Creator, from the Divine Mother. And so aligning with our higher self, becoming familiar with our higher self energies. And if you wish to explore this path, if you are not familiar with your own connection with your higher self, I have a course that I offer, the 11-day training or an 11-week training, whichever way you wish to choose to pursue this course. It clearly gives you an understanding of the higher self and the path to embodying your higher self on a very real and tangible way, so that you get that clear guidance in your own life and how to move forward with your own ascension journey. So I would encourage you to explore that as well. So yeah, so just untangling ourselves from all of these structures within the matrix, just moving forward on our own individual path, getting on that higher timeline, um, going for walks in nature, listening to high vibrational music, doing some yoga, doing some meditation. All of these things will, take you out of that reality and bring you into that present moment within your own hearts, in alignment with those higher timelines, within those higher energies that are now awakening within the field, that are identifying themselves as the age of Aquarius or the golden age or the new earth energies. There are so many names to it, but within your heart, once you align with these energies, you will know that you are on those higher timelines. And so it is our responsibility in a way to stand in our own sovereignty and take up that mantle and break that spell from the past and take back our power. We are very powerful beings, and we can do this with our own energy, with our own abilities, to shed all of those past darkness, if you will, and birth ourselves into these new timelines that are so very poignant and real and tangible within the Earth's field at this time. And so, as I am, along with many others, being called to dismantle, if you will, these structures and these realities, we have to stay strong, stay strong within our own sovereignty, and allow for us to embrace that true innocence, that true blueprint within which we are all born, if you will, and in co-creation with the Creator. We've just forgotten. So this is a true remembering, a true alignment with those original blueprints that the Creator has bestowed upon us. And so this is the awakening. This is the way in which we align with those energies, and we become um, embodied, if you will, with our higher selves, in order to embrace that higher blueprint, that true energy of the Creator within our own energy, within our own being. So that is my prayer to you today, to embrace this energy within your heart, that purity of innocence, that energy of innocence. Tune into your hearts, allow for that to manifest in your life, and just walk away from that old binding, those old contracts, those old ways let them just fall away. They no longer serve us. And so, even though it makes you feel vulnerable or it hurts in a way, because it has hurt me, there have been a lot of tears, a lot of pain, but you find ways to move through all of those difficulties and come through on the other side, knowing that you have moved past those difficulties and that you are in true alignment with your highest path. And so, this is my prayer to you, to tune into those energies, find that space within your heart, and align with those higher timelines. And as I have said, there's many ways to get involved. I hope that I'm able to see you within these other forums as we work through the grids and as we share the space on all of these different levels as we maneuver these difficult times, often difficult times together. And so I thank you for tuning in. I don't see any questions in the chat, so I will end this live transmission. But I'm grateful to be here, to be of service, and to be sharing this space with you. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Namaste.